Hey everyone, welcome to my most recent episode. Happy Cinco de Derby. I don't know what you're celebrating, or maybe you're at Maryland Sheep and Wool. Yeah, I didn't go this year. Too many other things. I said this last time. This is a really tough time of year for me. I hate May. I hate May 2nd to September. It's the dangers of being a university professor. The two busiest times of the year. Yeah, so guess what? I have a finished object. I'm super excited. I finished this last night. This is the Durumi pullover, the Durumi sweater by Isabel Kramer. And for the last time, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I did. So it's a DK weight sweater, and I held two strands together of fingering weight. I made it mostly out of the neutral that you're seeing here. This is Stitch Together Studio in the buff. I most recently saw it on pre-order, so if you love this color, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. It has it's a neutral with little hits of a soft baby pink and lots of beautiful speckles, some blue and purple and brown and gold speckles. It's really, really pretty yarn. Love it. Love, love, love it. I bought 3 skeins of it, and I needed 4. I needed 4 to make this sweater. So just kind of following my intuition in terms of like how I make purchases, just like kind of I buy a lot of things that I like. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I had a little, this is all I have left of the 4th skein. I had a little skein, 1 skein of this color right here, which is very similar to the Stitch Together Studio color. It is not as speckly and not as high twist, but it's got that neutral, that natural ground with some pink in it. And this is Sweet Sparrow yarn, Pajama Day. Stop looking at Martha camera, there we go. That is, Sweet Sparrow is right in my neck of the woods. She lives in Bayonne, New Jersey, which isn't too far from here. I think I've mentioned this before, though. It seems like shipping takes a whole lot longer from Bayonne than it does from, like, I don't know, Ireland. Anyway, the yoke color that I chose for this sweater, and I'll put a picture in of me wearing the thing so you could see the whole thing. The yoke and the tipping on the sleeves is a color from Lavender Loon Yarn Company, and it is called Everlong in her 80/20 base, and it looks like that up close. It's a black plum, like blacks and plum together with a jade green running through it. It's really, really beautiful. I have 1 more skein of this, so I'm probably gonna, I don't know, figure out something really cool for it because it's so pretty. Yeah, so this is the Stitch Together Studio in the buff. She does speckles so well. If you're into like speckles on speckles, this is your girl. Really, really, really nice. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. I will definitely be shopping there again soon. Yeah, so this is my finished object. Super excited about it. And I didn't tell you who I am. My name is Shannon Bellum. I go by bellummake on Instagram and on Ravelry, and I am a knitwear designer. I make sweater patterns for the hand knit market. And I am also a university professor and administrator, and yeah, that is me in a nutshell. I'm a mom. I have a cat. Many other things. My boys are all grown up, so it's kind of nice. So that brings me, my boys are all grown up. One of them is getting married, and if you're following along, if you're a returning viewer, I have an update on my Mother of the Groom dress. I am making my Mother of the Groom dress for new viewers. My son had given me some criteria. He wanted me to wear a long gown. He wanted it to be solid, colored, and for my daughter-in-law to be's wedding colors are pink and blue. So I needed to steer clear of those colors, and I also needed to steer clear of white and black for the obvious reasons as mother of the groom. I mean, certainly black is fine if you're a guest, but mother of the groom, no, at least not in my book. So I would be uncomfortable. So I was challenged finding a dress off the rack, so I decided to make my own, and I am making, you see it right here, Martha's wearing the dress. I took the washi dress pattern, which some of you sewists may be familiar with. I took this pattern by Ray Hostra, and I made a cotton version first, and then jumped right into the deep end to make this long and fully lined, floor length, fully lined, 100% silk gown for my son's wedding. It's coming along great. I'm an experienced sewer. I just haven't sewed in a long, long while. Probably since my kids were very little. And I got, like, my sewing skills were quite high. I tailored jackets, I made coats, I did everything. There wasn't anything I hadn't made. And I went from that down to, I don't know, sewing pillows and napkins. I was doing very, very simple stuff when I finally stopped sewing and just did other things in my free time. You don't have a lot of free time when you have 3 boys running around. And I've always worked full time, so not so easy. Anyway, update. So I decided to do some embroidery on this solid colored gown. And yeah, so it's not done. I'm just, like you can see here, I stopped on the border stitch because I want to get, I think what I don't think I can pull back this part right here. I'm not sure. So I wanted to just get more. I actually started right here. I don't know if you can see. Should I? All right, sorry. Apologies, you're going to get a little wiggled right now, but you're going to get to see it up close. All right, here we go. There you go, see? So I really wanted to embroider their initials and the date they're getting married on it. And this is looking a little washed out on screen, but I may try to tweak the color in editing, so hopefully it'll get a little bit better. But there you go. See where the green vine stopped? That part is done, and then I need to continue the green vine down. And I have a lot more flowers planned. So wait, let me put you back. Hi. Sorry about, hope you're not seasick. Sorry about the wiggling around. Yeah, I roughed out, I sketched out a design of what I was planning to do. So there you go. So it's going to be a little bit asymmetrical in its placement. So I want the flowers to come down. Everything, the embroidery will end here. So the flowers will come down right to about here, to this, right before this pleat, and then they're not going to go up as high on the other side as they are right there. So they're probably just going to go to like there, and then come back down and connect. Yeah. So that, I'm so happy with it. I love this. This is the best idea ever. And honestly, like, the embroidery took absolutely no time, and it's super simple stuff. It's like, you know, up, down with a needle and embroidery floss. And I've done my share of embroidery as well in the past. It's also been, I mean, I think my son, so my second born son, I made him, I really went all out on his nursery. And I did a lot of hand embroidered items. That's the last time I embroidered. In fact, all the embroidery, I still have my embroidery supplies from then. He's 23, by the way, 23. So it was 23 years ago. It's probably right around now because he's an October kid. So it's been a long, long while. And I just looked up online, like, you know, here's the beauty of having the internet so handy and, you know, bringing information into your living room. It's really, really nice. So nice. So I was able to just do a little looking around, poking around online to get an idea of what it was I was interested in doing. And I knew I wanted to do this lazy daisy stitch and do 2 colors. And there's this guy's missing its French knot center, but and so is that one. No, maybe it's in there. I'm not sure. So yeah, it'll be like a combination of daisy stitch flowers and hearts and curly Q vines. I'm trying to decide whether or not to do some dark green in there too. I think I will. I have purple too. I have purple yarn, which is pretty. I like a keyed up purple. I don't know. Not sure. I'm gonna finish this part. I'll probably put a little dark green in there because I think it needs it. I don't know. I'm not sure. So once I finish the embroidery, I will be doing the back waist. The back waist is a sheared, you know, where you use, if you're not a sewist, you use elastic as your bobbin thread and elastic thread as your bobbin thread, and it makes a nice gathered waist. So it'll really pull all this in, all of this, where this is hanging from the bust line. It'll all get pulled in and pulled back, and there'll be a little bit more emphasis right there, but the pleats will let the dress drop away. I may do some embroidery on the hem. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see how it goes, but that if I decide to embroider the hem, I'll do it after the garment is hemmed, so it'll be like one of the last things that I do. So yeah. Tell me what you think. I'm so happy with it. I really love it. I really love this sweater. I'm sad it's warming up now here in northern New Jersey where I live. So I'm not really going to have a lot of opportunity to wear it. Though we're getting a cool week next week, so I might be able to get away with it. It's kind of warm like a DK weight sweater is. And it grew a lot. I think the yarns are all superwash, which really only matters what the neutral one is. I think it's superwash. Yeah, superwash. So but it has a significant amount of nylon. So superwash does grow, and I was aware of that. The sleeves are a little longer than I thought, but I like it. Anyway. Okay, let me move on to my knitting whips. I am still plugging away on the Curious Handmade. No. Curious Handmade shawl, Impressionist shawl. It was a knit along that has since ended, and we still have until the end of May to post our finished objects, and I'm doing pretty well. I think I am almost done with clue 3. I think I'm literally like, yeah, I have 3 rows until I'm done with clue 3, and then I go into clue 4. Clue 4 is only about 15, 16 rows. Only, you know, each time, this is a crescent shaped shawl. I don't think that's giving anything away if you're wanting to be surprised. I'm not sure if too many people are wanting to be surprised right now anymore since it's over. But if you are, just be aware I am about to show it. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a crescent-shaped shawl, and the thing with crescent-shaped shawls is that they grow every row. And though I am just now knitting at around 470 stitches, I will be up to about 540 when I am casting off. So that's like a lot. That's a lot. It takes a long time to do one row. A long time, but it's pretty mindless now. It's like pretty much just into the garter stitch aside from the every row increases that go on. I am in the middle of a row, so I am not going to be able to spread this out so much, but let me show you my colors because I love this thing. This is going to be probably my go-to shawl for, you know, until the weather cools off, but because it's so pretty. So look away. Here we go. Here's my sweater. Here's my shawl. I love that lace. I can't wait to get that on the blocking mat to have that open up. The yarns I'm using 3 different indie dyers. The white yarn, which I'm done knitting with, this color right here. This is Hedgehog Fibers. It's a potluck color. I can't even remember where I got it. I think I got it on the New Jersey Wool Walk last year. There we go. It's all singles. All the bases are singles. I'm done with knitting this one too. This blue pink is a Garn Story yarn singles German dyer. So Hedgehog, Ireland. Camera loves Martha today. This is Susi Belushi. And the green is Ching Fiber, which I guess I don't have the tag, sorry. So the green, it's a really, really keyed up green. It's looking a little dull to me on screen, so I think it might, hopefully in color correction, I can fix that. We're supposed to use the most of this, like this skein should pretty much be gone. So that just gives you an idea of how much more knitting I have to get this shawl done. So I don't know, I hope I make it. I hope I make it by the end of May. It's still really early, it's only May 5th. So, and this is mindless knitting, so this is good knitting for grading when I'm grading papers. Really, really good knitting. Though actually my grading is almost done. I have one class is doing a final paper, and then my other class did a final presentation instead. Those are much easier to grade, and I have an amazing TA who is cranking through right now. Teas are amazing. Okay, my other whip, I have a few other whips that I haven't made progress on, but my other whip that I did make progress on this week is the Humulus sweater by Isabel Kramer. Another Isabel Kramer. I love her patterns, actually. This was a really nice, easy to follow. I learned a couple new techniques. I knew I'd tell you. I told you I would tell you my new techniques. I learned her way of doing short rows, which is slightly different from, it's a slightly different version of what I have done myself. The other thing that she did, which I found interesting, is something that I don't usually do, is that on the sleeve decreases, you knit 2, then do the decrease. Then when you come back around, you knit to 4 before the end of the row, and then you do the decrease. So you end up with this strip of 4 stitches that just stay straight on your decrease. And I like it. I think it looks really nice. So that's something I may incorporate into my own patterns. So I have done very little. Cast on date. This is a part of a cal that I am hosting on Ravelry and on Instagram, and I have very few participants, which is fine. I don't mind. I have like a very small following. So if you are interested in joining, I am doing prizes. I'm doing prizes at the end of May and at the end of June. At the end of May for works in progress, and at the end of June for finished objects. And yeah, your chances are going to be amazing unless a whole lot of people join. So if you'd like to join, please join. The info is in my show notes, which my show notes can be found on Ravelry. And I have the neckband done. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. About an inch. About an inch. I really want to get to the color work. I'm so excited about the color work. The yarns I'm using, the base yarn, this one right here. This is Jill Draper Makes Stuff in her Rockwell base. This is a DK weight sweater, and I'm actually using DK weight yarn. Yay! This is the 3rd DK weight sweater that I've made this year, and this is the first time I'm actually using DK weight yarn. I'm pretty obstinate about just grabbing what I have on hand whenever I decide to make a sweater instead of buying stuff, but I was obsessed with this woman's yarn, and I really wanted to try it. She's not far from me either. She lives in upstate New York, just a couple hours from here, and she's all about the sheep to knitter kind of path with her yarn. So she'll buy from local farms, sheep to skein. That's what she calls it, sheep to skein in the Northeast. What happened was I had decided that I really wanted this yarn. I wanted this base, Rockwell. Thoughts went off the track. So I wanted this base, and I had been kind of circling around a couple colors that she had on her Etsy site, and I knew I wanted a sweater's quantity. I was pretty sure I was going to use it for the Humulus sweater, and Sorry, my camera cut out. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Sometimes my computer does that. It's weird. Anyway, as I was saying, I ended up buying the yarn from Brooklyn General Store, and it was on sale. It was almost half price. So this yarn is $30 a skein normally, and I paid $18 a skein plus a little bit of shipping. So Brooklyn General Store isn't very far from me either. I live very close to New York City. And yeah, so I was like, perfect. And she had sweater quantity of a color that I was very interested in. So I had a few episodes back, I had talked about cinnamon, this like sort of rusty brown color that it's actually a little bit warmer than rust. Like rust tends to be a little more brassy, but this is like a sort of a more red-ish color. It kind of reminds me of the red mulch that you see around, you know. People around here put up signs and say, you know, friends don't let their friends use red mulch. I don't know. It's a Northeast thing. Anyway, my contrast, which I'm dying to get to, is a Plucky Knitters yarn. This is called Cold as Ice. This is in her snug worsted weight. And I had said last week that I did swatch it together. And I'll pop a picture of the swatch in here. I don't have it handy, so you can see what it looks like together. I really, really love the way this is looking. So I'm excited to get to the color work. So yay, hopefully I'll do that this week. And all of it is living in my new fringe field bag. Look at how the color, this camera, you know, gold is second to beige in terms of doing color match. It's one of the hardest colors to match. So I guess you're witnessing the color change. Look at that. It's so funny, right? Maybe it's the combination of the gold with the turquoise. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. That is my other work in progress. And I am going to show you one more work in progress, but I want to first show you my stash acquisition for the week. I bit the bullet. I know I talk about how expensive this woman's yarn is, but it is really beautiful yarn, and every once in a while you just have to have one. And so what's the deal if you're paying $34 a skein instead of $30 or $32? Yes, I'm talking about Woolen Vine. She does have a nice eye for color. So I went ahead and bought the Edinburgh yarn, Edinburgh color. Can you focus? There we go. In her Volk base. I am an MCN junkie, which if you are a returning viewer, you'll know that already. But if you're a new viewer, I love merino cashmere nylon blends. I know they pill a little bit more, but they're so soft and they're just such a dream to knit up. So my other work in progress that I haven't made any progress on this week, and I actually have not made any progress on it for a couple weeks, is a shawl that I am designing, a fingering weight shawl. It is a center out knit, and I am ready to cast on a new color. So this is the first color. This is the center. You see the center right there? And this charcoal gray color is an MCN base from Primrose Yarn Company in Pennsylvania, and it's called Black Truffle. That's what it looks like. Put everything in front of Martha for camera to focus. And my thought of this in terms of color, you can do whatever you want. It's your knitting. When the pattern's released, please do what you like. But I thought for this, for mine, I really wanted to make a neutral tone, mainly neutral toned palette. So I had a couple other Woolen Vine neutrals. This one is a color that she only, releases in around Halloween, and it's called Paranormal. So it's basically like a gradient gray of grays with flecks of green. You can see the greens in there, but not a lot of green. It doesn't really knit up really green. So that's one color that I'm planning to use. I don't really think that's like screaming Halloween, so I think I'm okay. And then I picked this up, this color. This is what she calls Strange Brews now. She used to call them Free Swims. So this is a one-of-a-kind color, also another neutral that's a little bit more colorful. Come on. There we go. It's called Wild Unknown. It's really pretty. But it has that same green in it on a neutral base. But this is a little bit more of a beigey base versus the gray. So when I was watching her podcast, she always shows, so it's Yarngasm is the podcast, but the company name is Woolen Vine. She always shows on her podcast what she's planning to sell. And when I was looking at her podcast, it seemed to me that I didn't remember seeing this color, Edinburgh. She started making it in time for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, which was just about 6 weeks ago. it seemed to me that this was a very neutral looking version of it on the Volk base. And these are both Volk base too. So I thought that might make, actually this way, I thought it might make a nice trio. Because I do know I need one more color. I need one more skein of yarn for this shawl. So I thought I might do that. I do have another color that I could, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think this is what I'm going to do. Not sure. I could also do that. I don't know. Still figuring this one out. Obviously, I really need time. Like, I just need my head clear. I probably won't make much progress on this until June, because I just need my head clear of a lot of the administrative stuff that I'm doing at work right now. I need all that to go away, and I need the students to go away, and I need the faculty to go away, so I can just do my thing. And this wedding. Also, not that I need it to go away, but once it comes and goes, I think by the time, like, actually, when I get a little bit further on in May, like, I'm about 2 weeks away, or maybe like 10 days away from having like free time, more free time than I have right now. Just more headspace than I have right now because of my job, my full-time gig. I think that's all I have for you today. This is kind of a short one. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, it's kind of a short one. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy your afternoon, the rest of your weekend and your week, and I will be back next week. Yeah, I'll definitely be back. It's Mother's Day weekend next week, so yeah, I'm not going anywhere. My kids are around in New York City living the life, and they told me to plan on seeing them on Sunday, so I'm excited. All right, well, take care and join my Cal and hit the like button, and please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. It will really help my little tiny channel grow, and I appreciate you watching me and spending some time with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.